Dude, what's going on? This preacher. Yeah, so I'm here at Aldi's in Royal Palm Beach, Florida. I have a 1 o'clock in the morning delivery. I've been in line for 35 minutes, and it's 5 minutes to 1 o'clock. So I know they ain't gonna trip if I'm not sitting here at this gate at 1 o'clock. I really despise places like this, though. I really do. It's like one way in, one way out. When I got here, I had like 11 trucks in front of me. And I'm like, okay, if I got a 1 o'clock in the morning appointment, what time is they appointment for? Here it is, 4 minutes till 1 a.m. And I still got I still got 8 trucks ahead of me going into the gate. Now, there are trucks leaving on a regular basis too. So I don't know if they getting them, you getting in the door and they getting in the door right away and they getting you out too. I mean, I don't know. But there are trucks leaving regularly. And they wouldn't tell me where I was going from the get-go, but when I had picked this load up in Shelby, North Carolina, they tell me, oh yeah, well, it's going to the Aldi. And I don't like going to grocery store distribution centers because it always take too long. And that's why I couldn't do reefer, because it just take too long. I'm not saying that I'm not a patient person, but I'm in a day cab. So, just sitting here up here in the day cab, I try to maximize all my time. If I had a sleeper truck, that'd be a little bit different. You got a little area you can go and just lounge around in, and for them taking an extra 2-3 hours, it's not a biggie because you're laying down and stuff. But when I'm just sitting up in here in the truck all the time, it's just like one of those times you just like, oh man. So that's why I try to tend to stay away from grocery store distribution centers. They just take too long. It take too long to get in. It take too long to get out. If I knew it was going to Aldi, I wouldn't have took it. And it's just a bunch of paper towels. That's all it is. That's all I got. I got 14,000 pounds of paper towels that I'm taking to Aldi's. Now the load, it paid good. I can't cry about the load. It was 688 miles. It paid $2,500. So it pays good. I'm not saying nothing about that, about the pay, because the pay and stuff is good. I just don't like just sitting here and time just going and going and going and going. It's just one of those type of things. So last month, the month of June, was my lowest month of revenue. I was in a hospital for a week's amount of time, and I was home for about 2 weeks. So I really had 8 working days last month. And sometimes that's going to happen. And one thing that I like is the time that I have started my business in the middle of November to now, I done established my business. I done got relationship with brokers and stuff that I use, to where that I will call the brokers first and see what they have before I go on the load board. And sometimes they have good loads like this one. It was a good load, and it was paying $2,500. and I just wanted a load that was close to Charlotte because I had a load going up to Charlotte from uh, Fort Lauderdale. So I called the broker. He said, "Yeah, I got this load going from Shelby, which is about an hour from Charlotte, and it's paying $2,500 going back down to Royal Palm Beach." And I was like, "How much is the weight?" It's like 15,000 pounds. I'm like, "I'd take it." So it was my fault not getting all the information on exactly where it was going. I looked at the price. He had a good load. It fit my schedule. The times that I could pick it up, and the delivery times didn't matter to me because this load took me home yesterday. So I got home about 1:30 in the morning. Wednesday morning is when I had got home. And so I was like, okay, cool. It's going to take me home. So I was home all day. I got up 10:30 Wednesday night to bring it here Thursday morning at 1 o'clock. And I was like, cool, because it's still going to fit my schedule. Now, my regular load that I pick up, my HVAC load, that picks up, the window is between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. in Jacksonville. So I got plenty of time to do this load, go back home, still take me a 10-hour break, and then head up to Jacksonville and pick up that load, and that load goes to Raleigh, North Carolina. And that load is paying me $12.85 for that load going up to Raleigh from Jacksonville to Raleigh. Now I do, like I said, I do all my miles, so I have to do my miles from Royal Palm Beach all the way up there, because I do all my miles, and so I know exactly how much I'm spending, so I can track everything, make sure it's a good price for me going up there. And I know what y'all saying, like, oh, $12.35. Yeah, it's Florida rates, man. Florida rates. That's how it is in Florida. So that puts me at about $1.50 a mile going up to Raleigh. But I have another load that's coming from Virginia, 64 miles, picking up in Virginia, 64 miles away. 64 miles, no, 84 miles away. That comes back down, that's paying me $2,800. Okay, and that's for a total of 701 miles. So I look at the total miles going up and the total miles coming back, and I look at the rates between both of them, how much I'm doing. So at the end of the week, I'm still doing about 2,800 miles. So it's like 2,832 miles that I have done, that I would have done for the week, and the total for the week is 6,450 that I made for the week. So when you do the total miles for the week, for all y'all mathematicians, I know y'all, some of y'all mathematicians be trying to do, do all your miles and stuff. That's what I'm saying. I don't worry about it. I do my total miles for the week. That's how I do, and the total amount of money that I make. Okay, so when I'm making $6,450 for the week for my miles, and only doing 2,800 miles, for all y'all that like to say, oh, they ain't two, that's way over $2 a mile for the week. Sometimes you have to take, in Florida, you have to take the cheaper loads to get to the more expensive loads coming back down. That's how but by the end of the week, it works out. Now, my first load for this week, the load from Miami, that wound up being a tonu. I got to the shipper, and the shipper, they wasn't loading. They said they had canceled that load. The load was picking up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday. Now, I had the deadhead from Fort Lauderdale way to Shelby, North Carolina. Yeah. I had the deadhead 700 miles. Okay, they had 700 miles because the broker that I used, that I called, he got me that load for $2,500. I didn't want to, and then it was after 5 o'clock. It was 5:50 by the time they figured everything out. I couldn't get another load going up there, and the load picks up that same day on Tuesday. It picked up on Tuesday for this here Thursday delivery. So yeah, that's what happened. So I lost out on that load right there. It was going 700 miles, and it was paying $1,200. It wasn't my regular HVAC load because they was closed because it was the 5th. So this was a load from TQL that I had got that was paying me $1,200 for that 700 miles. So yeah, that's like $1.80 a mile. I normally do about $1.70, between $1.70 and $1.80 per mile getting up out of Florida. Okay. See, I don't have no truck payments. I own my truck. I can afford that. That's no problem. And my truck gets about 8.7 miles per gallon right now, depending on how I drive. So I had to eat that cost, that fuel cost. That $150 tonu that I got is not going to cover the cost because it costs me $300 in fuel to get up there. You know, so when it's costing me $300 in fuel to get up there, and then I don't get that load, I had to eat that cost. So I lost out basically $150. Is what I lost out on the first load. But it was just too late to cancel, and then if I do cancel, well, there wasn't no other load for the next day, so then I'm still going to be starting off. So I'd rather take $150 loss. I know some of y'all going to be like, man, that was crazy. But I'd rather take that $150 loss and make it up on the back end, because that $6,400 would have been $76 if I would have had that $1,200 load. For instance, last week I made $7,600 last week. That's how much I grossed last week, $7,600. All right. So this week, with that $1,200, I would have grossed $76 by the end of this week. I would have grossed $76 for this week. Now I got to take Monday and Tuesday off because I got doctor's appointments. So my gross for next week going to be down because I taken off Monday and most of Tuesday. I'm going to get a load on Tuesday night. But so I'm starting off late towards the week, and I don't think I'm going to work the weekend. I didn't work last weekend. I'm not working this weekend either. I have Saturday and Sunday off, and then I have a doctor's appointment on Monday and Tuesday. So I got to go to the doctor for that. Like I said, I just got out of the hospital. But that tonu, man, that tonu, truck order not used, that's what a tonu is, for the ones who don't know. You know, that killed me, and that made me mad. I was mad all the way up there, man. I really was. Because then, with the load, when you have a load that picks up at 5 o'clock, okay, all the brokers is pretty much done. They're not booking no more loads after that. You're pretty much done. So if you get a tonu, you're done for the day. So then if you already didn't have something set up for the next day, okay, you got to start all over. And then if you're not willing to do that deadhead to get that other load, say you call and cancel that load, well, now you're still stuck because you don't know what load you're going to get for the next day too. So a tonos, it's just typically about $150, between $100 to $150. So you got to say, well, how much fuel am I going to burn going up here? So I had to burn fuel in time just to get to this load that I got now that I'm delivering. So, and then that $150, I'm just like, okay, well, that's nothing to me because that's just fuel. So then I had to give another $150 because it cost me $313 in fuel to get up here and to get this unloaded. So I lost money in time. But I made it back up on these other loads, because just 2 loads coming back down from Carolina and the outskirts of Virginia, between those 2 loads that just come down alone, it's like $4,900 for the week. And then the load I got tomorrow for $1,285. So that's how it works. That's how it works. Now, if I decide to do a load on Saturday or Sunday, that gives me more money, things like that. But I got to take it easy, all that kind of good stuff. I really do have to take it easy. And that's still with me being home, okay? That's still with me being home 5 nights a week, all Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so it is possible if you're willing to work. And I always got to tell people, listen, it all depends on how you work now. Okay, if you're not willing to do exactly what I'm doing, then you won't get that money. Okay, and I'm willing to do what it takes to make my business be successful. So yes, that means me, okay, working that midnight shift, overnight shift, driving overnight, things like that, then that's what I do. Okay, that's what I do. Like I said, this is a 1 o'clock in the morning delivery. I left my house at 10:30 at night to do this 1 o'clock in the morning delivery. Now, after I finish this, I'm going home, go to sleep, take a 10-hour break, then head to Jacksonville. But even when I do that, okay, I'm still driving. I'm still not going to get to my place till about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning by the time I get there. And then I have to do those other runs. And then I can pick up this unload that I got from Virginia. So I still got to work those midnight hours. I don't like working those midnight hours. I really don't. But doing this sometime to get the money loads, you got to pick them up when they're doing it and deliver them when they want it to be delivered to get those money loads. Because just 2 loads, like I said, coming back down, they've always paid me between 48 to 51, 52. And then the loads that I get going up pays me anywhere from 11.50 till I got them up to 12.85. So you get 2 loads like that going up there, and then the 2 loads coming back down, and that's just 4 loads that you're making this money in. 4 loads for the week, and then day runs. They are day runs. I can do them all in a day. And that's the best thing about it. If I had a sleeper truck, I could make a lot more money if I had a sleeper truck. I really could. Okay, I won't be home every night, but I can make more money. But for me to be home on 5 nights a week, with Saturdays and Sundays off, making over $7,000 is good. Okay, now my minimum is $5,000. That's my minimum. It's $5,000 a week. That's my minimum. But I average about 6,500 is what I average. When I first started, I was averaging about 53 before. And then when I got on with some brokers and the brokers knew me, I was able to get more money because they liked my service. So the same brokers that was paying me $800, $900 started paying me $1,200. So that's how I went up, because they want my service, because I was able to get the job done compared to other truckers, and they knew that they could count on me and not have no problems with me. So that's how my money had also jumped, using the same brokers. These are using the same brokers I've been using since November. I'm just getting more money. Those $2,400 loads I used to get for $19,000. But because, again, they know me, they know I'm going to get the job done, they know I'm dependable, they pay me that extra $400, that extra $500 for the load. Because they know who they're dealing with. So, when you start to establish yourself, establish a reputation about your services, you'll get rewarded. It takes time. Like I said, I've been doing this since November of last year, and here it is, what, the first week of July. And I've been getting these rates since June. They actually started going up in June. Towards the end of May, June is when they really start happening. But the month of June, I was in the hospital for a week, basically, out of the month, being inside the hospital. And then been home recovering, trying to recoup and get ready for about 2 weeks out of the month. So I only really worked, like I said, about 10, 12 days out of the month of June. So that's how it was. That's what's going on. But again, man, the tonu really killed me, man. The tonu really killed me this week. All right, man. Y'all take it easy.